Hi everybody, Corin here. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite meals. Now this is something that I have in rotation all of the time. It's my black bean and quinoa bowl. So I'd like you to check it out. It's quick, easy, and so delicious. Let's get started. Aside from the black beans and quinoa, here are the ingredients that I'll be using today. Top to bottom, we have cilantro, yellow bell pepper, red onion, cherry tomatoes, lime, and avocados. These will allow us to make the pico de gallo and guacamole, which are essential to this bowl. We'll start by dicing our red onion. We're going to dice most of this onion, which will be used for both the pico de gallo and the guacamole. Once your onion is diced, place half of it in a small bowl. This will be for the pico de gallo. To the onion, you'll add the juice of 1 lime, and this will begin to tenderize and break the onion down, sweeten it a bit. And while the onion and lime juice is marinating here, in a separate and larger bowl, place the other half of your diced onion. This will be the foundation for our guacamole. Back to the pico de gallo. To the onion and lime juice, we'll add some salt. Set the bowl aside, and now let's begin to cut our cherry tomatoes. These are pretty small, so I just cut them in half. Once the tomatoes are cut, add them to the onions. Here are a few larger tomatoes that I'm going to add. These are a little bigger than cherry, so I'm going to quarter them, just cutting them in fourths. And I'll add that to the mix too. And the final finish here is to add chopped cilantro. So many pico de gallo recipes call for jalapeno pepper, maybe even a serrano pepper. I don't add that, but if you like a little bit more heat or you just love the taste of those peppers, please add it here. Also adding a little more salt and pepper. We'll set this aside until we're ready to serve. Now it's time to start on the guacamole. But before we do that, don't forget to like this video. Also, hit the subscribe button below and hit the notifications bell. That way you'll know each time a new video is uploaded. Okay, let's get to the guac. I start my guacamole the same way I started the pico de gallo, by adding lime juice to the chopped red onions. In this case, I typically use the juice of 2 limes, although that depends on how productive and juicy your limes are. You might need 3. If you have a gadget for juicing citrus, please use it here. I just chose to do this manually, but I'm now adding salt once again to the onion lime mixture. Now it's time to add the avocado. Simply cut your avocado in half. You'll be guided by the center seed. You'll twist the 2 halves apart, and voila. So as you see, the seed is on one side, and you will eventually remove that. In this case, I'm just getting both of these avocados prepared, and then I will take it from there. These are both beautiful avocados. And now I'm removing the seed. I simply take the knife, hit it to the center of the seed, and then twist the seed out. If you're not comfortable or experienced doing this, please just use a spoon for the entire process of scooping out the flesh and the seed. Be careful and do what's best for you. And then I make smaller diced sections within each avocado half. And going back to our onion bowl, we'll take each half of avocado and simply scoop out those chunks. I've actually decided to add a third avocado to this mix. It just didn't look like enough to me for my needs today. So here's a third avocado. Oh, this is actually an even more beautiful piece of fruit here. Nice and smooth and creamy. Same process. And there are many gadgets now that you can use to process or cut your avocado and to remove the seed. But again, this method works well for me. And now I'm simply taking a fork and mashing all of this down and together and beginning to mix all of these ingredients together. And if you're ever making a really large amount of guacamole, you can always use a pastry blender or a potato masher to mix your ingredients as well. And the final finish here, once again, is cilantro. Incorporate all the ingredients together. And I add a little heat with about half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And now this guacamole is complete. Here is a serving of black beans. I make these fresh, but you can use canned. And here is a serving of rainbow quinoa. Okay, the makings of our bowl are just about complete. The final step I will add today is sauteing yellow bell pepper and onion, aka fajitas. So I core the bell pepper and cut it into slices. And I'll take the last of the onion that I didn't use to dice earlier. And then I'll place this in a saucepan and begin to saute these. And I used just a bit of veggie broth and a little bit, I'd say about a teaspoon of olive oil. And to that I added oregano, dried oregano. I didn't add any additional salt or pepper, but the oregano really gives the onions and peppers a fantastic flavor. Okay, I've deglazed the pan a bit and I'm going to add the black beans just so they can warm up in all this flavor. Okay, it's time to serve and build our bowl. Let's start with our layer of quinoa. Add to that your layer of black beans. Peppers and onions. You know the flow now, our delicious guacamole. Topped by our beautiful, fresh pico de gallo. Now that's a beautiful bowl. Okay, the bowl is now done. I am very eager to taste this, so let's give it a little taste. And I will try to get a forkful of everything. This is excellent. The guacamole is perfect. A little bit of heat. The onions and peppers are juicy and flavorful. The beans and quinoa are cooked to perfection. This is why this is my favorite bowl during the week. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Please let me know how it works for you, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.